a literal kindergarten craft project. I mean, they roll out the primary certified high-tech lottery machine that costs who knows how much.
Millions for sure.
Millions, and then they hold up this cheap metal box, or worse, the basketball with a hole cut out of the top as the official failsafe.
It's pure performance art.
It's the ultimate expression of how much they value the illusion of integrity.
Right. It's a performance that determines, organizational solvency. They bring in the accountants. They film the whole process behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, that absurd little backup plan that basketball tells you, that somewhere, deep down, they know the system is always going to be seen as dubious.
And nothing amplified that doubt more than the 2025 NBA draft lottery. You just look at the result.
The Dallas Mavericks.
The Dallas Mavericks winning the number one overall pick. It was the single most convenient, unbelievable outcome in recent memory.
With 1.8% odds. And if you looked at the reaction online, it wasn't excitement. It was just this collective skeptical groan.
Immediately, people called it rigged. Not because they hate Dallas, but because the outcome was it was too perfect.
Too convenient for the league's corporate narrative.
And that, right there, is the central tension we are dissecting today. We have this ironclad statistical reality on one side, which claims pure randomness.
And on the other, you have the psychological and financial incentives that somehow keep delivering the perfect, high-drama corporate lifeline exactly when it's needed most.
So our mission is to look at the machines, the math, and the deep, unsettling history to figure out if the system is truly random, or if it's maybe engineered to be randomly convenient.
Let's start with Dallas, because you have to define the sheer gravity of that paradox. That 1.8% isn't just a low number.
No.
It's a direct consequence of what was, just months before, seen as a truly catastrophic front office decision.
Catastrophic is putting it lightly. I mean, Dallas absolutely stunned the entire league by trading away Luka Doncic.
Luka, at 25 years old.
A generational MVP caliber superstar. And they just shipped him off to the Lakers, of all teams. It was like raising the white flag of organizational failure.
And the return package. I mean, Anthony Davis, yes, AD is a phenomenal talent, but he's older.
And carries this notorious, lengthy injury history.
Yeah.
The immediate consensus was just, wow.
The front office completely fumbled away a cornerstone player. They basically signed up for a grim, dark, unwatchable future for that franchise.
The fan base was in revolt. They weren't just angry, they were mourning.
Oh, for sure. Calling for the GM's job.
They were looking at a decade of irrelevance, watching Luka win titles in L.A. The whole narrative was set. Dallas was desperate, unstable.
And staring into a financial and emotional abyss.
Then the miracle. The 1 in 50 shot lands.
They win the #1 pick and get Cooper Flagg, who everyone agrees is one of the best prospects of the last decade.
It's the ultimate organizational reset button. A franchise-saving move delivered by what is supposed to be pure, uncaring chance.
The universe, or maybe the system, seemed to just immediately correct that catastrophic error. It instantly gave them a new, highly marketable face to build around.
Can you imagine the psychological relief for the ownership, for the executives who made that trade?
Oh, immense. It bought them credibility. It bought them time.
It bought them the ability to turn to the fan base and say, see, we have a plan now.
But here's the interesting architectural dilemma that 1.8% pick created.
Right.
Even with Flagg, Dallas is struggling. We're 24 games in, and they are nowhere near title contention.
Not even close. They're still facing these dark, serious conversations about needing a full rebuild.
Which is so strange because Flagg is living up to the hype. He's averaging, 17.3 points, 6.3 rebounds?
3.3 assists. He's the real deal. But the detail that really stands out to me is his clutch scoring. He leads all rookies, shooting 59% from the field on over 50 points scored in these high-leverage situations. So even if AD is the most talented player on the roster,
Flagg is the closer.
Flagg is the definitive closer.
So now they face this choice, a choice engineered entirely by that unlikely lottery win. Do they push for the playoffs with AD, knowing they'll be
Cannon fodder.
Total cannon fodder for a stacked team like the Thunder, who are on pace to win nearly 80 games?
Or do they embrace the chaos that delivered Flagg in the first place and trade Anthony Davis now for future draft picks and young co-stars?
That 1.8% ticket bought them optionality they never deserved. It gave them a strategic path forward that just shouldn't have existed.
And the ability of statistical chance to deliver such a perfect corporate outcome is exactly what fuels all the skepticism.
So before we get too deep into the conspiracy, we have to honor the facts. Let's talk about the cold, hard mechanics of the drawing itself.
We have to. The official system is designed to look transparent. It uses 14 ping pong balls, numbered 1 through 14, in a machine they call the Smart Play.
And out of those, you get 1,001 unique four-ball combinations.
Right. 1,000 are assigned to the teams based on their odds, and that 1,001st combo, that's a redraw, which is crucial for the system's integrity.
And the environment is supposed to be highly controlled. The machine, the balls, they're certified, weighed, measured.
And team reps are in the actual drawing room, not just the TV studio, to witness the whole thing, supposedly.
And look, from a purely mathematical standpoint, the system holds up. It really does. If there were any kind of systematic manipulation...
Like favoring small markets or big markets.
Exactly. The data would show these measurable, predictable deviations over time.
And it just doesn't. When you analyze it with tools like log likelihood testing.
And calibration curve analysis.
Spanning from 1990 all the way to this Dallas win in 2025, the results adhere almost perfectly to the mathematical definition of randomness.
To simplify that a bit, log likelihood testing basically asks, how likely is it that the data we're seeing came from the random process we assume?
And the answer is overwhelmingly yes.
The data points align with the expected results so closely they get an R-squared value of 0.992.
Which, if you don't speak statistics, just means reality matches the mathematical model with 99.2% accuracy. The actual sequence of winners is less unlikely than 12% of simulated histories.
So statistically, these crazy outcomes are basically guaranteed to happen eventually.
Okay, so here is where the tension really comes in. The data is sound, but the oversight perimeter is weak.
Very weak. The auditing firm is Ernst & Young, E&Y. And accounts from people who've been in that room suggest their presence is mostly an advertising gimmick.
Exactly. It's observational. It's not forensic. They stand there. They watch the balls tumble.
They're not doing the deep technical checks that would actually guarantee integrity.
No, forensic testing would be X-raying the balls for microweights or testing the machine for electronic signaling before the draw.
But the league gets to use the reputation of a Big Four accounting firm as this massive shield against public doubt.
And the irony is just so heavy there. E&Y only became one of the Big Four after Arthur Andersen dissolved because of the Enron scandal.
A monumental failure of corporate auditing.
So the very firm that's supposed to symbolize integrity is protecting a system where integrity hinges entirely on what happens before the cameras roll. It leaves this huge vector for a sophisticated, undetectable fix.
It's the perfect veneer of incorruptibility. But if you look past the math, you see the blueprint. You see how chaos has strategically served the league since the very beginning.
We have to go back to 1985, the founding myth.
The league was struggling. David Stern was trying to revitalize a fledgling league that was desperate for national attention.
And who wins the inaugural lottery?
The New York Knicks, the biggest market in the entire league, coming off a disastrous 24-58 season.
And the prize was Patrick Ewing, a result that instantly injected star power into the largest media market in the country.
And the rumor started immediately. The frozen envelope or the folded corner on the Knicks card allowing for detection by touch. It created this inseparable link between the draft, convenient outcomes, and the league's financial interests.
The league needed a win, and the lottery delivered. And that template was just. It was refined in 2003 with the King's ransom.
Ugh, the Cavs. A small market, a truly troubled franchise, wins the #1 pick with a 1.5% chance.
Statistically extreme. And the prize. Akron native LeBron James.
That single draw. I mean, it transformed the entire franchise overnight, from financial instability and low attendance
to a full arena and national relevance. It saved the Cleveland market. Full stop.
And the ripple effect is just staggering. That one unlikely outcome altered the legacies of every major player for the next 20 years. It impacts the Lakers' championships in 2009 and 10.
Because Kobe's narrative changes completely without that rival.
It impacts the 2006 Heat championship. It even influences the 2019 Raptors title, which was directly tied to the collapse of the Cavs after LeBron.
It's not just a lucky draw. It's a tectonic shift in the league's history. And what's wild is that LeBron James himself has said publicly that he feels some strings are pulled.
Because the perfection of it, the hometown kid saving the desperate small market, it just defied rational belief.
The chaos delivered the greatest possible corporate narrative.
And if you think the league learned its lesson about perception, you just have to look at 2019. They reformed the lottery rules.
Right, to flatten the odds and stop tanking.
The reform was supposed to inject fairness, but all it did was guarantee more hyper-chaotic, unpredictable results.
Which brings us right to the Pelicans winning the #1 pick for Zion Williamson.
Another small market team with only 6.0% odds wins the pick right in the middle of the high-stakes Anthony Davis trade drama.
And that win immediately stabilized New Orleans. They got Zion, which gave them the leverage to demand a massive franchise-altering haul in the eventual AD trade.
It prevented a crucial small market from just collapsing after losing a star. It maximized the league's total franchise valuation.
So what does it all really mean? The conspiracy isn't about systematic rigging for, say, high-odds teams. The math is just too strong for that.
No, it feels more like a calculated betrayal. The league benefits immensely from these strategically timed, highly improbable, chaotic results.
The motivation isn't blatant large market favoritism.
It's market stabilization.
Placing LeBron in Cleveland, Zion in New Orleans, or bailing out the desperate Mavericks with Flag, it maximized the league's financial viability. It keeps those franchises relevant, which grows the total pool of markets for new broadcast deals.
And the profound irony is that the 2019 reform, by flattening the odds, just guaranteed more of this chaos. Now the team with the worst record often drops to 5th or 6th.
While the low-odds teams, the Mavericks, the Cavs of 2003, keep jumping up. This unpredictability, that's the revenue driver.
It generates massive news coverage. It makes sure the product is always high-stakes drama.
And we just can't ignore the gambling overlay here.
Yeah.
The NBA, NBC Universal, DraftKings, these are massive multi-year partnerships.
The stakes around perceived fairness have never been higher.
Because the league is directly monetizing the very chaos that fuels these conspiracy theories.
They literally profit from the skepticism. And if you zoom in on the human element, the most unsettling realization is how the system rewards strategic behavior.
The incentive to tank is still there, but the lottery's chaos means teams that truly bottom out. The chronic failures.
They get punished. They drop to 5 or 6.
But the playoff hopefuls who, let go of the rope at the end of the season.
Like the Mavericks did.
The ones who strategically position themselves just outside the play-in, they seem to be disproportionately rewarded with that 1.8% magic bullet. The system elevates the strategic gambler.
And it punishes the true systemic failure. It just leaves you with this really unsettling thought that statistically pure randomness can when you view it through a corporate lens.
A lens focused only on narrative, market stability, and revenue.
It can look exactly like a carefully orchestrated plan.
And what we really have to chew on is the emotional toll this takes on the players, especially these young prospects who are forced to carry the weight of that 1.8% corporate lifeline. Next time, we're going to dive into the psychological warfare of relentless, high-stakes competition and what happens when the product becomes the people. This episode is powered by Neon Core Media for stories they said were too real to tell.